This is the video you have been waiting for. We are finally ready to write the code necessary to post an update to Twitter. This will be surprisingly simple due to the fact that we laid the groundwork when we wrote the methods for checking a user's authentication. We need to add a few lines of code to the post-tweet method in the main controller and then off to the Twitter class to write one method. When a user clicks the post-tweet button, the first thing we'll want to check is to make sure that the text view is not empty. We'll do that with an if statement, and we're going to retrieve the text from the text view. And we do that with the string method, and we're going to compare it to an empty string. And we'll use the is_equal_to_string method. Passing an empty string as the parameter. And here we're just going to make a little note. And we'll return. And that will just exit out of the method. Here we're going to do something very similar to when we were checking for the user's authentication. We're going to create a string. We'll call it result. And we're going to talk to the TM_twit class. And we're going to call a method that we haven't written yet, but we're going to do that right after we get done here. And we'll call this method performUpdateWithText. And the text we'll pass in as a parameter is the text in our text view. And because of the way that we wrote the verify Twitter result from activity method, we'll be able to call that method here as well. So we'll say self verify Twitter result. We'll pass in the result. And the activity this time will be update. The post-tweet method is as simple as that. When the button's clicked, we'll check the text view and make sure that it's not empty. After that, we're going to perform an update with text on our TM_twit class. The result we get back from that we'll verify with our verify Twitter result from activity method, and our application will respond accordingly, and our user will be informed of the result. We'll save here, and we're going to go over to our Twitter class, and we'll go to the interface file. That way we can declare our method, and our method's going to return an NS string. It's perform update with text. It takes an NS string as an argument, and we'll call this the text. We'll copy that and go over to our implementation file, and we'll put the method just below our isUserAuthenticated method. We'll paste it in there. The first thing we'll want to do is make sure that the user is authenticated. We'll create a string, just call it auth. And here we're going to call the isUserAuthenticated method. And then we want to check the result. We'll compare the result we get back. That'll be contained in the auth variable. And if that does not equal the username, because we know if we have a username come back from our isUserAuthenticated method, then the user was verified. So in the case that the user is not verified, we'll want to return whatever was in the auth variable. And that message will be displayed to the user. The next thing we'll want to do is clean the text that we got from our text view and prepare it to be sent through our task. So we'll say NS string. We'll call this clean string. And the way we do this, we're going to take the text that came in, and we're going to call a method string by adding %escapes using encoding. And there it is. And the encoding is going to be NSUTF-8 string encoding. I'm going to scroll the window up a little bit here. Our next step will be creating the curl string that we'll need to talk to the API to perform an update. Let's head over to the Twitter API and copy their example string. Here we are again at the Twitter API documentation. I'm going to scroll down to the status methods, and we're going to choose Statuses Update. And I'll click that. And here we get all the information about an update. I'm just going to go down to the bottom, and I'm going to copy this example curl string. And then I'll hide Safari. And so we'll have an example here to look at. I'm going to put an inline comment and paste that in. We will finish this lesson in the next video.